What a finish! What a man!
The drum roll finishes, and the target is hit.
And
it comes on finals night, and it's another
Andreas Dirty Harrison! Van Velzen!
Brilliant, absolutely superb.
Game!
What a way to win that game. I've done this a couple of times on these kind of finishes. You have to go for 14. But this is for the win, and that is a brilliant checkout for John Worsley. So treble 18, the double 12,
Game shot.
and Derek Coulson.
Derek Coulson.
The favourite, however. Could this go for a 1-6-1?
Watch out. Bullseye. Oh,
Game shot on the
what?
first leg. Martin
Oh
Turner.
my God.
Hi there, good evening. Welcome along to the Modus Super Series, where Group B is indeed about to get underway. It's going to be an evening of experienced arrows aces. So with that in mind, we've got Scott Mitchell to talk you through the action. Scott, you were here this afternoon as well. A fantastic session, but a real different feel about this group tonight.
Yeah, there really is. This is a very experienced group. Conan being the youngest player in the group probably, and he's probably equally got the experience of the other four. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I think if this was a stock car race, you could throw a blanket over them all.
This afternoon, there were three players tied at the top of the Group C table, but one of them really stood out, and it was a 19-year-old Charlie Manby. Brilliant performance from him. And there's been a lot of noise about him recently. He lived up to it, didn't he?
Yeah, obviously, once you do that massive average that everybody saw about, and it was all over our social media pages, all over everywhere, Charlie now doesn't go under the radar, and he did a little interview at the end because he's ended up top of the group on leg count back, as we can see there, saying that it's propelled him into the darting world and everybody knows who he is now. So he now knows he's got a target on his back, but he's not going to play and worry about that. He's just going to get on with it and try and do what he does.
Yeah, it looks like trying to get 3 into 2 with Manby, Allen and Aaron Turner all tied on 8 points. Neil Duff's already through 2 finals. He won Group A earlier in the week. And tonight we're going to see the Series 1 champion Conan Whitehead, Martin Turner, Derek Coulson, John Worsley and Kevin Edwards all do battle in this group. I'm going to pick out the player in the middle of that list first, Derek Coulson, because he's off the back of a really good run at the World Seniors Championship. What do you make of him as a player?
I think he's a really good player. I think his A game is right up there with top players that are particularly here tonight. And what I think is improved in the couple of years that I've known him, his B game has risen. So he's more or less gone to a B+ game when he's not quite doing it. And I think that's what's given him the consistency, and that's why we're seeing he never really drops off it that much, and that makes him always a difficult opponent to face.
Yeah, consistency, the key word for him is his average here at the Super Series actually exceeds 90, and he's played here on 5 occasions, including 2 Champions Weeks, so really good. Conan Whitehead, maybe less consistent than Derek Coulson, but he does have these moments of brilliance, doesn't he?
Yeah, Conan does, but Conan plays the game in a very different way. Conan goes head-to-head with the person that he's playing. He plays the guy at the board, and he doesn't mind telling you that. He's going to get his head down. And if he does a 77, Conan's happy to beat him with a 79. But at the same time, if he does 103, Conan will go and get him with 105. That's the type of player Conan is. He plays in the moment, and that's why he plays so well as he does.
We've been chatting, we can't separate these players, but the bookies have tried, and they have gone with Derek Coulson as the favourite. 6-5 as well. John Worsley 13-8, not far behind him. Conan in the middle. Martin Turner 9-1. Kevin Edwards, who I think's been excellent this week, 16-1 outsider. Does that represent a bit of value?
Possibly, but for Kev, he'll be happy to be there. The way that he is and the story of his life up to now and his darting life, he'll be happy to be down there at the bottom, but nobody expecting anything from him. That'll be music to his ears.
If you are going to have a bet, please gamble responsibly. It's 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org. The opening match features Kevin Edwards. He's taking on Conan Whitehead, of course, the first ever winner of a Modus Super Series Champions Night. And earlier tonight, he had a chat with Robbie Dove.
Well, Conan, your third appearance in the calendar year of 2025 is beginning to feel a bit like home, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm actually thinking I might move down here soon. Yeah, to be fair, I'm not that far away from here, so it's not too much of a drag, and I enjoy playing down here, so keep the invites coming.
Last time you were here, it made it into finals night. That's got to put you in good stead ahead of this week.
Yeah, it's another one of them. It's funny, I mean, the lads we're playing tonight, it's an hard group tonight. I'd have rather played in the morning session watching the dance this morning, no disrespect to them, but the way I'm playing at the minute, I think I could have dominated this morning, but we'll see what's happened tonight.
Do you know how many weeks you have been here at the Modus Super Series?
Wouldn't have a clue.
This will be week number 13, not including Specials Week. How does that sound?
Oh, a long time.
Series number 1 champions, or the inaugural champion, will never be taken away for you. Do you carry that back round as almost a badge of honour?
Oh, 100%. And I also think that's put a target on my back as well. I remind people that I'm the first series champion. I'm very proud of that.
On to this week, the next couple of days. What can we expect from Conan Whitehead?
We'll have to wait and see, to be honest. I mean, my game's been up and down, but the last couple of weeks I've been playing well. So I think I'm getting back to the top form. But it might take another month or two, but hopefully I can pull a bit of it out this week and then ready for the Champions Week.
Where have you been plying your trade over the last couple of months?
I've been playing Super League, as many opens as I can get to, which I've won a few, but I've sort of laid back off a bit of the Challenge Tour as of present. Yeah, I'm playing everywhere I can, basically.
So consistency?
Yes and no. I'm playing more consistent than I was when I won Series 1.
Well, that's always good to hear.
Yeah.
Conan, wish you the very best. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, consistently inconsistent taps Conan Whitehead, but he does have, as we've just been discussing, that brilliant ceiling, that flamboyance on the stage, that presence here, maybe topped up by the fact he did win that first ever championship at the Live Lounge. He's taking on a player who takes each day as it comes in Kevin Edwards. More on his story as the evening progresses, but the youthful 39-year-old in this group from Raynham, looking to kick off this campaign with a win against the 52-year-old Kevin Edwards, who himself impressed at the World Seniors recently, has been a semi-finalist as well on the Super Series stage, nicknamed the Flatliner because of multiple cardiac arrests that he had, went into a coma for a few days. His wife saved his life, and we had that chat with him earlier in the week. That will be available soon on Pluto TV. A remarkable story available to watch back
First
at the end
leg,
of
it's Conan to
Monday's
throw
action,
first.
if you want to see that
Game on.
on the Modus Super Series YouTube channel. But getting the action underway is Conan Whitehead, and that's the right way to go about it. Those long javelin-type darts
98.
penetrating the treble 20, and he will make that switch to the 18s more often than not.
Yeah, Conan does a lot of that, and he's not frightened to
6.
move away from a block target, but at the same time, he knows when he's got to stay there as well. Good counter, so...
57.
Once again, having a little chase round there, Conan. But like you say, you don't mind that, going for a clear target at this point in the match.
140.
Last week at the end of night one of Double Trouble, Scott, we saw all of the players tied on 4 points at the end of the first evening. Do you think we could see something similar tonight?
100.
No, I see no reason why not, Murph. I really don't. I played against all these guys at some point or another, and I know they're very tricky customers to play. So
55.
it's probably all about who can get off and run in first, and we know that winning breeds confidence. Confidence breeds winning. It's a
8.
double-edged sword, and whoever can kind of get on top of one another. There's a bit more of Conan's good counting I was telling about earlier. 166 he's left on, but with Edwards back on 246.
140.
Tidy again, back to back.
Yeah, in fairness to Conan, hit a big 5 last start.
58.
Yeah, it was a bit of a ricochet as
Revenue
well, wasn't it?
require
A bit of,
106.
had a bit of all sorts.
But It does give Kevin Edwards the first chance. He's not going to take out the ton-topping combo.
98.
Conan Whitehead may have to take one out just to hold on to his throat.
And these are the sorts of things that he does do, though. Double 16 for our opening leg.
Game
And
shot
this
of
is
first
exactly what we
leg,
were talking
Conan
about.
Whitehead.
Plays what's in front of him.
Second leg, it's Kevin to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, exactly the point that Scott Mitchell was making. Kevin Edwards can't give himself a double from 106, but Conan
121.
Whitehead can take out 108. And with it, the first leg is in the ledger.
58.
This is the first of 10 matches tonight. Kevin will be playing in the first and last games.
140.
Following this, Martin Turner making his bow for the week, taking on John Worley. And the Derek Coulson, the favourite to win this group, will actually
42.
take on Conan Whitehead in game 3. So Conan's got that scenario where things can either go really, really well or really, really badly, playing 2 of the first 3 matches. If you win them both, you already know you're going to be at least in
100.
contention to make it through as one of the top 3.
Yeah, the thing with Group B is you can't really afford to lose 2 on the trot.
94.
It makes life very
Kevin, you
difficult
require 140.
to qualify from there. We know it's 3 from the 5 we see tonight. We'll go through to Saturday night.
6.
And the other thing I found when I've played Group B is that because it drops down from 5 matches in a session to 4, the session passes very much quickly. It can pass you by, so
40.
you have to be
Kevin, you
careful not to let
require
the games
80.
fly past you. You have to make sure you stay focused and on it, and because before you know it, you've played 3 games, and if you've lost a couple of them, it makes life very
Game shot
difficult.
at
And
second leg, Kevin Edwards.
that's Kevin Edwards responding with an 80 straight
Third
back
leg,
at
it's
him.
Conan to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, nice 15 dart leg as well there for Edwards. Really has
85.
been some impressive moments from Kevin this week. None more so than the 9 dart attempt. He missed the double 12 for a real moment of joy for him. But I mentioned that story. He shared it in a post-session
59.
interview earlier in the week. It is remarkable, and the perspective that it's given him is almost a secret weapon, isn't it?
81.
I think it is, and I see something very similar with Coulson as well. It's you get to an age where you're not frightened to lose because other things have happened to you in life
100.
when you get to the age that you are, and when you come to losing a dart match, it's not a big thing in life anymore. Like when you're younger and you're so focused on just darts. Losing dart matches hurts, but when you get a bit older, it's like, get over yourself. It just happened. I'll win another one tomorrow. And you think totally different about it, and that makes you a stronger player.
100.
I've spoken to
Conan,
Martin
you
Adams
require
about it, and he said he didn't
155.
get sort of good till his sort of mid to late 40s. He didn't feel like he was comfortable with the game. So there's a few players out there in their mid 30s who've still got their best to come.
99.
Never too late. Maybe too late in this leg for Kevin Edwards. Back on 2-4-2 with Conan Whitehead waiting on a simple 2-dart finish, single to double.
58. Conan, you require 56.
And the 180 in the middle of this leg turned
36.
the leg on its head for Whitehead. He still will be back with Edwards back on 184.
$60. Conan, you require 20.
Well, that's a darting disaster, really. He
No
just
score.
chooses to bust
Kevin,
it in
you
the end
require
and hopes to come back for
124.
double 10. But Kevin Edwards has got the chance to pick his pocket here. And he's now... Oh, he was 64 points away. Needed the single
84.
14.
Conan, you require
Chased the treble.
20.
Missed the big number.
Game shot on the third
And he's
leg,
duly
Conan
punished.
Whitehead.
Yeah, an unusual one that
Full
for
flag.
Kevin
It's
Edwards.
Kevin
He doesn't
to throw first. Game on.
usually make little mistakes like that. That's not his game.
140.
Nice response. And like I say, a younger player, when they sort of lose a leg like that, they can still be chastising themselves.
108.
Sort of 6 darts into the next leg. But Edwards opens up with a 140. Whitehead comes back with a 180.
135.
Edwards is like a terrier on your ankles. He's not going to let you go.
Now then.
I likened him to this on Monday.
Now then. Oh.
136.
Well, it was earlier this week when Kevin Edwards went 8 into the 9. Conan stops at 5. Interesting that he switched as well. Maybe just that dart leaning across the treble 20, but really good attempt.
80. $60. Kevin, you require 146.
From here, he'd just be looking to leave something handy. He needs a treble of some sort.
83.
Gets it
Kevin,
last
you
dart.
require 125.
So he'll stay there, that's for sure. Too accurate. It's the trouble with these nice long points where you can put them on a pinhead.
Yeah, I mean, he said he'll stay there. He didn't want to stay exactly there, did he? He
109.
wanted the 25 and then
Kevin,
the
you
bull.
require 63.
Tells the bullseye off when he takes his darts out.
He does go for the bull a lot. He's good at it. Too good at it on that occasion. 24 for Edwards to pinch it. He can't. So
39.
Whitehead
Conan, you require
can restore the damage here.
He was a touch unlucky there, Edwards. Tried to use the previous dart and touched the wrong side of it.
14.
But he will be coming back
Kevin,
to
you
24.
require 24.
I think we see from Conan's reaction what he thinks of that.
Eastern side, double 6. In
It's
it
on
goes.
the full flag. Kevin Edwards.
2-2. 5 perfect darts and 2 bulls in that
Fifth
leg
flag.
from
It's
Conan
Conan to throw
Whitehead.
first.
But it's a leg he
Game on.
loses.
$22.
Now, not a good start from Whitehead, so Edwards will want to be in that treble 20. To sweet.
100.
Very straight thrower, isn't he, Kevin Edwards? He's the type of player that will hit ton after
92.
ton.
Yes, he is. He's sort of lines it all up with all his fingers on the dart, and then when he pulls it back, he gets his fingers out of the way.
100.
Not quite Eric Bristow cock finger, but he just gets his first couple of fingers out of the way and grips it between thumb and forefinger at the back, off to the centre of the
96.
dart. When you see his dart go in the board, you'll see there's a little dip about 3/4 of the way back, and I think he holds that point and position, and
140.
what great results he gets from it.
Yeah, even better than ton after ton. It was literally that, and then he follows with a 140 to leave 161 after 9.
100. Kevin, you require 161.
And it's on if he fancies it. Treble 17 would have left the bullseye. He's going to leave it handy and threaten
97.
Conan's throw here.
$91. Kevin, you require 64.
And now the double.
32. Conan, you require
Well, he got 100 with
100.
2 bulls in the last leg. Not up to such tricks this time around. Double top.
80. Kevin, you require 32.
So 3 in hand for Edwards. Just a little bit too high. Takes half a step across. Right on the wire.
Game shot on the fifth
used that
leg.
dart
Kevin
perfectly. You
Edwards.
can see at the angle that dart was sat, he hit the cross of the flight in exactly the
Sick
right
flag.
place.
It's Kevin to throw first. Game on.
Edwards again just plodding along, and I think
137.
you made the point at the start of the show, Scott, that Conan Whitehead plays the player, but if you've got a player like Kevin Edwards,
50.
it's difficult to do that because he just gets on with it, gives nothing away, and there are a few players like that in the group tonight.
Yeah, there are. I think as you get older, we had our little chat with Derek Coulson, which you'll see in a few weeks' time.
140.
As you get older, you start to give less away because you realise that giving stuff away can put the fire in the belly of your opponent. And
140.
Edwards is another one of those who notoriously gives nothing away. And yeah, in today's world, some would say, well, that makes him boring to watch,
45.
but it doesn't for me because he's still hitting those tons and ton 40 scores, and that's what people watch darts for, to watch the big scores. It doesn't matter your persona and how you get
83.
them. Some are flamboyant, some bounce around the stage like Wiley Coyote, and others just trudge along like Deputy Dog. It's just one of those.
Conan Whitehead is
26.
having a glance upstairs in this former church, hoping someone's there to answer.
125.
I have to say they almost
Kevin, you
were.
require 153.
So Edwards on 153 after 12. We've seen Whitehead take a 108 already, so he really will want to get this down close.
60.
Tried the floater over
Kevin,
the
you
top.
require
That didn't quite
103.
work, but he's under a ton. Where's Conan going now? Usually 11 for double 16.
71.
Options here then
Kevin,
for
you
Edwards. Does he go
require
the old school
93.
route straight for the bull? Knowing 25 will give him a potential shot at that. He does, but he has got the bull, so it's going to be 3 for tops.
53. Conan,
I
you
think he was
require
slightly put off there where he
36.
only just hit the big 3, didn't he?
Conan trying to make some use of that. It's difficult because his darts do lean over to the right. Goes the wrong side of it. Can he clatter to the right side of it? He
16.
can't.
Kevin, you require
And that
40.
could be that. Kevin Edwards stepping forward to get an opening victory. Double top the target. And in it goes. And Edwards gets the win. A 4-2 success for the flatliner in the opening match. He beats Conan Whitehead with a decent-ish display. There you see 86.16. There were just moments in the match. Whitehead with a 108, 84. Kevin Edwards, he just won a couple of mini battles there. He'll return Whitehead in a couple of games' time, but before that, Martin Turner takes on John Worsley.
Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yes. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy time. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen! And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor.
Time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series live on Pluto TV, where the Group B action is underway and got underway with Kevin Edwards defeating Conan Whitehead 4-2. The outsider in this group, Edwards at 16-1, with a win to his name against the former series champion. Up next, it is the left-hander from Yorkshire, Martin Turner, making his 7th appearance on the Super Series stage. And he takes on John Worsley, the Womble, who has won a week here at the Super Series before, but hasn't really been at his best for the majority of this week. He was brilliant, wasn't he, on Monday? Won his first 4 matches, but then things took a little bit of a turn for the worse for Worsley when he suffered a bit of an illness, and he's just sort of overcoming that and hoping that he can thrive again over the next couple of nights.
Yeah, always difficult when you
First leg, it's Martin
committed to this week-long Super Series and you catch a little bug or something on the way. I know in something that I was taught 2 to 3 months before any World Championship or big TV event that you were in, I would always be taking all vitamins, supplements and all sorts of things to try and stave off any silly coughs, colds, flus, and illnesses that might have been flying around, trying to keep your metabolism and your antibodies nice and strong to fend things off, because you don't want to be travelling for 10 months of the year to qualify for a World Championship and then get struck down. So it was something that I always used to do. Didn't do it all the time throughout the year. It was just towards the end of the year we would sort of dose up on all the vitamins in the medicine cabinet.
And Martin Turner is a capable player. Hasn't always shown it at the Super Series. We've seen him win WDF titles, but only one Saturday night appearance from those 6 prior visits to the Live Lounge. You would think a player of his quality would have managed more than that.
Yeah, you sure would. I mean, he's a Humberside County player
140
at the minute, and yeah, former England international. I've played in teams with him, so yeah, that is quite an astounding stat for one whose game is so good.
45. Martin requires 76.
Right, man, Darren Johnson, more often than not when they're travelling.
Game shot of first leg, Martin Turner.
Well, slightly unorthodox that, but it is more than legitimate.
Second
Double 16
leg,
for double
John
14 to take out the 76.
Game on.
And the first leg is locked up by Turner.
Yeah, I'll let him off with that. He is left-handed, isn't he? So he's unorthodox before he starts.
139.
A couple of years back, John Worley and the team that they had in the Super League in the west of England with
91.
Chepstow, I think it was, won the Champion of Champions, best Super League team in the country, alongside the likes of Lick Kenny. I think Sam Kankett was in that team as well.
58.
Imagine
140.
that's an extremely proud feeling, winning the national title with your Super League team.
$134.
Well, Worsley utilises the treble 18 to leave 170. Treble 20 would do the same for Turner, but he can't find
John,
it.
you require 170. $84.
Well, that slip just opens the door a little bit here for Turner. Worsley was looking for a treble 18 to leave a double.
60.
Hasn't taken
John, you require
advantage,
86.
though. The man from York.
$70.
Would have hoped to have
Martin,
been
you
in a much
require
better position here. 150 is a big ask. Well, just a drop dart there, I think that was from John Worsley, as Martin Turner was gearing up to throw the 150. Still doesn't look him full
44.
of beans, does he, Worsley?
John, you
Still
require
seems to be
16.
struggling a bit.
Yeah, he sure does.
$8.
And that's not going to
Martin,
make
you
him feel any
require
better.
106.
No. Turner gets this. I was going to say he'd be as sick as a parrot.
54. John, you require 8.
Well, this is for parity.
Nicely marker, just slide it over the top.
6.
He's gone a touch
Martin, you
too
require
far, and
52.
it would
42.
have been naughty to go double
John, you
as well, wouldn't it?
require
I know he
2.
didn't mean to, but
Worsley's got to sort this out. He's missed 8 darts at double in this leg. And the tally is increasing.
Game shot on the second
But in
leg.
the
John
end,
Worsley.
he manages to find the madhouse to level up at 1 apiece. But that would have felt like an awful
Third
lot of hard
leg, it's
work.
Martin to throw first.
yeah, it's
Game
knowing
on.
how far to take him. He looks to be sweating up a bit, does John?
100.
Well, fair play for it to him for
41.
getting up there and having a go.
40. $60. $96.
See, he's struggling to concentrate up there.
Yeah, I do feel for him.
23.
Nicknamed the Womble, and he's got a look of Uncle Bulgaria at the moment.
$98. 95. Martin, you require 167.
First one's there. Not to be with the second, and the third
84.
one. Martin uses very unusually small flights. Makes his darts very direct indeed. There'll be no drag in the air on those.
82. Martin, you require 83. $51.
Didn't need to do any different than that with Worley back on 200.
Yes, struggle hitting doubles in this match, struggling hitting trebles in this leg.
60. Martin,
It's
you
double
require
16.
32. Game shot on the third leg.
That
Martin
is the
Turner.
nuts for the mutt. 2-1 to Turner.
Fourth leg. It's John to throw first. Game on.
That's the thing, isn't it, in individual sport? You haven't got teammates to bail you out, Scott. There's no substitutes that come in and play for you. So you've got two choices. Play through it
135.
or pull out.
I think my father used to call it, you got to shape up
99.
or ship out.
Has been scenarios. I can only remember one actually where a player's pulled out during a session. That was Sven Verdonk.
96.
Got injured as the day went on, and he had to be replaced the following day. Lloyd Walker, who played this afternoon, has actually
137.
twice filled in for a player who's pulled out after a day's play, and this week is his first full debut, if you like, at the Super Series.
I think I filled in for a Nopper Atat.
6.
Yeah,
Became ill overnight. I played the last day of a Group A campaign on a Wednesday.
yeah, you
For
were
him.
due to commentate, weren't you, that day?
98.
Yeah, I've been to darts the night before and just happened to have me darts and a shirt on a hanger in the car.
Well, Worsley's tried to plod on, and I think in a Group B, if you
93.
think you
Martin, you
can
require
play, it's probably worth trying your
167.
hand with 3 going through from 5.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it definitely is.
He knows he can get to bed
94.
after the session, stay in
You
bed all day
require
tomorrow if he wishes.
117.
I think had he been Group C, it might have been a different story. Treble 19. Not to be. But if you can leave it half-handy, there's no guarantee that Turner's going to take out 73.
81. Martin, you require 73. $55. John, you require 36.
Same target. Same outcome for now, but he does get another go in this visit. Double 9.
Sensible with the first.
18. Martin, you require
Close with the
18.
second, though.
Yeah, not pretty, is it? At the moment, from the one
Game
bolt, who
shot on
will
the
be
fourth
worrying
leg,
now as
Martin
Turner
Turner.
breaks and leads 3-1. He will throw for the match.
Fifth leg, it's Martin to throw first. Game on. $42. $78.
A nice little pick up there with the last and a switch to the 19s.
108.
Turner once more. Tracks across the bed. Hits the first 180 of this match. I'll be hoping for many more of those this evening.
60.
Scott, if you are playing a player who's clearly struggling with something else, whether it be injury or illness, does that give you a bit more confidence?
Depends what type of person you are. I tend to go the other way and feel a little bit soft for him, and I feel a bit upset for him because, like you say, particularly with
97.
It's not something that you've done to yourself. It's not like you've gone outside and tripped over a slab and put yourself into the floor because you've been too lazy to pick your feet up. It's
60.
You've just could have picked it up off of anybody within the building, and it just seems so difficult and sad that should happen. It's not. Somebody else has obviously gone out,
81. Martin,
not
you
feeling well
require
as well, and passed it on to
106.
you, which is always disappointing.
$100.
Turner setting up the finish.
$100. Martin, you require 6.
Worsley just staying interested. But it is tops for Turner. That becomes 2 10s.
40.
Now,
John, you require
can Worsley
85.
spark a comeback here? Great start. Double 10.
65.
Not to be.
Martin, you
So
require
Martin
20.
Turner returning for the same target for a comprehensive victory against an out of sorts, and it has to be said,
Hit shot
under the
unmatched.
weather,
Martin
John
Turner.
Worsley. Struggling on the stage, clearly. Didn't disgrace himself at all, got a leg in the ledger, but all those missed doubles really posed a problem for Worsley in that one. An average for him of the low 70s, low 80s for Martin Turner, who was much more effective on the outer ring. 4 out of 10 for the man from York. He will be back in a couple of games' time to take on Kevin Edwards, but we're going to see Derek Coulson for the first time next. He plays Conan Whitehead.
$54. Charlie McGuire, 164. $44. $32. Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls at this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score, leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
required
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts, but he'll be coming back.
It's a moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the
81.
stage,
Charlie
approaching the
required
hockey with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
require
he's gone to
118.
bust it, maybe. The first title he won, he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that situation there, George
require
Scaife wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
require
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's giving George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go
Couldn't get the job
Got
done.
in the match! And the Red Dragon
George
Modus
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Scaife!
Yeah, welcome back to the Modus Super Series here live on Pluto TV. You're watching Group B on day one. It is Series 10 already, and we're on week 7. And if you just joined us back from the break, Martin Turner had a resounding 4-1 win over under par John Worley just before the break. But now we see Derek Coulson, the man from Market Drayton, who has taken the world by storm so far in 2025. A nice little run at the Seniors World Championships at Circus Tavern and Purfleet. And he takes on the man, the 39-year-old from Raynham in Essex, goes by the name of the Barbarian, Conan Whitehead. And Conan's played his first match already this evening, and he went down 4-2 to Kevin Edwards, so he'll be looking to bounce back here. As we know, Group B is very difficult to progress from. If you lose a couple on the trot, you then start putting the pressure on yourself. So Conan will be looking to put that right, but in this instance, he doesn't have the darts in this one, and he's playing a man very much in form, in the form of Derek Coulson, and had a little chat with him this evening about his darting life, and he's just recently changed his darts. He used to use quite an old-fashioned 80% tungsten barrel, bulbous barrel type dart, and he's swapped that up and gone down a gram and gone for this slightly thinner, slender type barrel, and it's only a recent change, so this is new to him. First time we've seen them on your telly boxes this evening, and he seems to have started quite well with them.
Yep. Clearly not working. Change them back.
123.
Is it 2 treble 20s with every single one of his 3 visits so far, and left himself a 2-darter after 9?
90. Derek, you require 98.
Double 12 would have been
86.
4 or 12.
Yeah, and if you're doing that on your own throw, you've got to do a 9 to get anywhere near that to beat him. So
Derek, you require
Coulson has opened up well here. He will want to finish this leg off. Whitehead is still in touch on 136. He's already taken out a 108 this evening, and
Derek Coulson.
no chance taken from Coulson. Didn't allow Whitehead back.
Second leg, it's Conan to throw first. Game on.
Well, this could turn out to be a tough start for Conan Whitehead. Already gone down 4-2 to Kevin Edwards. Coulson seems to be in the mood.
$60.
Well, he said after that match 1 loss that it could be a tough night. Early doors for
125.
Whitehead, and that's exactly what seems to be the case thus far.
Well, they're the new weapons, and he's certainly using them effectively, Scott.
140.
Yes, he is. He was disappointed he had a massive sort of sideways deflection, didn't he? In that last
81.
leg. you see the new weapons.
100.
Well, he's only had one scoring visit so far in the match where the first dart hasn't gone in the treble 20.
100.
You know, he's been practicing a lot of late and putting the hours in, and as he said in our interview earlier, which you will see shortly once all edited up,
85. Conan, you require
he has
55.
been reaping the rewards from the practice.
Yeah, absolutely. But Whitehead is lifting his game, as Scott Mitchell suggested he would.
35.
Plays
Derek,
the player.
You require 116.
This is where Coulson can be clinical. Difficult, but look at that use of the dart. Double 18.
80.
Not quite.
Conan,
What an
you
attempt.
require 20.
That's where sometimes a new dart can take some time to settle. The scoring section of the board, you're throwing lots and lots out. Conan's had no luck
Derek,
there
you
whatsoever.
require 36.
The only luck he's had is bad luck, and if he wasn't getting any of that, he'd have no luck at all.
And he won't want to look at that because it
Derek
means
Coulson.
Coulson has doubled his lead. And as a two-leg advantage, Conan so far
Third leg, it's Derek to
facing an
throw
uphill
first.
struggle, having
Game
lost
on.
a game already. But this is looking like top-level Derek Coulson. We've spoken about him. You mentioned the conversation we've just had with him that'll be available soon on the Super Series channel
45.
about emerging later in life. And Scott, there must be plenty of dart players around the world who have got this talent and either aren't aware of it or haven't had the
40.
chance to pursue it seriously yet. Do you think that we could see someone emerge sort of Luke Littler style, but later in their lives?
I see no reason why not. I mean, the thing with as you get older, you kind of start to run out of time, and
100.
you know you can't wait 2 years to make the decision. You've got to get on and do it now because you know time passes you by a lot quicker when you're in the 50s than you do when you're in your 20s. So.
43.
I think there's a brilliant possibility, but what the seniors does and what the seniors tour did, which unfortunately is no longer with us, it means that as it was, you could jump on the seniors tour, you could find
140.
yourself in the top of the rankings, and you could find yourself on the TV with your prowess. But the thing was, you were tempted to maybe come out of a retirement from earlier and come into it because everybody else in that room was like-minded. You were all in the same age group. To sort of come out of that room and then start playing the 22-year-olds again in your 50s, it's not always the most pleasant thing to do. So the seniors tour really worked in that way for the seniors players.
Absolutely, and Coulson continues to showcase
43. Derek, you require 76.
that talent. Saw a 76 go by Martin Turner earlier on. He went treble 16. Coulson will go treble 20. And he may just stay there for double 18.
40.
Yeah, sensible dart. I think once you've got that straight 20 to traverse the board and come back down and then go back up again, sometimes
81.
can sort of
Derek, you
like
require 36.
play with your mind. So to put two in the same spot and then go back with three good darts in hand to take on this double 18. He hit it last leg, first dart.
No
And again,
score.
he's gone at it a bit tentatively there because Conan's back on 204. He really doesn't want to put himself in the position of hitting the 18 and then Conan hitting a big 140 or something and then
56. Derek, you
leaving him under
require
massive pressure.
36.
But I feel he's got to go straight at it this time.
Game shot on the third leg. Derek
Starting
Coulson.
hand to rub it in even further. 3-0 to Coulson now. Mentioned Luke Littler, by the
Fourth
way.
leg,
Commiserations
it's
for him
Conan to
losing in the
first. Game on.
final of the Premier League tonight. If that should be commiserated, he's still done very, very well and he's flying high. Win over Luke Humphries earlier in the evening, but lost out to Gerwin
41.
Price. Congratulations to him for another Premier League success, and I'm sure that a few of you may have switched over from that and tuned into this? Well, just to bring you up to date with what's happened so far, Conan Whitehead was beaten 4-2 by Kevin Edwards in the opening match of the evening. Martin Turner then beat John Worsley 4-1. And Whitehead now facing the prospect of a double defeat. 3-0 down to Coulson. And don't forget, there is wall-to-wall darts coverage here on the Super Series channel.
140.
And for those who want to see more of Luke Littler, after tonight's live show, you'll see the best of Luke Littler here at the Super Series. Plenty of top moments and highlights for you to enjoy, so don't go anywhere once the live action is over. This game could be over pretty quickly, Scott.
Yeah, it could well be, and for Whitehead, he's going to have to be careful on this leg difference front. It's going to be 2 games down and just 6 to go over the next 2 evenings, and
60.
He will surely be looking to sort of grab legs here if he can. Even if he doesn't win the match, he needs to grab a few legs to try and prevent the legs
100.
for and against
scenario
60 coming back to haunt him tomorrow.
120.
It's a nice setup, but it might count for nothing. Coulson can crush Conan here. Yep, it's on.
90.
Couldn't quite manage to convert, so Conan Whitehead for, well, at the very least, a stay of execution.
Game shot on the 4th leg, Conan Whitehead.
Yeah, nicely done from Conan, showing his experience there. That's not the easiest thing to do from 3-0 down. You've just had to dodge a bullet in the form of a Derek Coulson dart at double 14. Having a little look at the camera there. Having a chat with the camera
60.
there. Always fun to have here in the live lounge is Conan.
He started off the Super Series there, didn't he? And in the days that followed, plenty of other players followed suit. I wonder if they'll be conducting the camera movements like he did just then.
Yeah, it was young Henry Deacon and myself sat in the hot seat here, and
108.
Henry said something, and I think Conan heard him, and he stared down the camera at Henry. It was nothing to do with me, and I made the general public perfectly aware of that.
Well, he's got himself going, answering the 180 from Coulson with one of his own. And like Buster's, none in the first 4 legs, but then 2 come along at once.
85.
A rare reaction from Coulson there as well.
Yeah, mainly because he knew if he had stayed
100
straight, would have left himself on a shot.
Nicely
recovered from Coulson, and
124.
Keeps the thumb screws on. Whitehead. Bullseye, which we know he loves.
99.
Oh, that is close.
Derek, you require 36.
When he left, he thought that was going to be going in. Has Coulson got the same feeling across the double 9?
Game shot.
He has indeed. He takes this one 4 legs to 1. Another defeat inflicted on Conan Whitehead. Just back to the camera. Coulson will be happy to get his first win under his belt. What a tidy win that was too. 92.26 on the averages. 84 from Conan, not a million miles away. 25% on the doubles. He'll look to sharpen that up. But we go into a short break, and when we return, we'll have Kevin Edwards and Martin Turner.
Welcome back to the action here in Group B on week 7 of Series 10 at the Pluto TV Modus Super Series, where so far we've seen 2 defeats for the Series 1 winner, Conan Whitehead, beaten by Kevin Edwards, who's back on the hockey now. That was 4-2 to the Essex Ace, and then went down 4-1 to Derek Coulson. The same scoreline was achieved by this man, Martin Turner, against an out-of-sorts John Worley, who was suffering with a little bit of illness, playing through that and hoping to let the adrenaline take over, but he will have his work cut out. Takes on Coulson next, and he looked particularly impressive in the previous game. Turner and Edwards were with the bookies,
First leg,
the
it's
2
Kevin to throw
outsiders, but
first.
one of them is going to have won the first 2
Game
matches
on.
after this, Scott.
Yeah, I said that I felt that Kevin Edwards would be really pleased to be an outsider and an underdog. He likes to play that way.
100.
Although he sat laid back, I don't think he was where he is, to be honest. He just loves playing the game again at the moment.
100.
And he's really enjoying it, and he's playing well off the back of that.
Yeah, good stuff we've seen from him over the course
140.
of the week. Kevin Edwards finished 3rd in Group A on 16 points, winning more than half of his matches. And getting into that Group B at the expense of Anthony Allen, who had a decent enough campaign this afternoon. 4 from 5 for him for the second time this week. Actually did the same
41.
on Tuesday. That group will resume tomorrow, 1 p.m. UK time. 3 players tied at the top, 8 points apiece for Anthony Allen, the league leader, Charlie Manby and Aaron Turner. And well, it won't be you in the commentary box tomorrow, Scott. It's going to be a certain Laura Turner. That might be interesting. Comms cam at the ready.
Kevin, you require 160.
I will be trying to find a 5G spot on my farm where I may be able to set
140. Martin, you
phone up
require
in my tractor
96.
to watch the Pluto TV coverage of that group.
But it's
Game
neither
shot on the
Aaron
first leg,
nor
Martin
Laura
Turner.
sealing the headlines here. It's Martin Turner doing the damage.
Second leg, it's Martin to throw
96 out of
first.
15 dart break.
Game on.
1-0.
$100. $24. $54. $57.
Brilliant stuff here.
108.
First max of the match
He
comes from Martin and leaves him on a finish once again after 9.
58. Martin, you require 167. $55.
Really hit the ground running in this game, Martin Turner, and Kevin Edwards is going to need more of this.
108.
Even that doesn't get him in the leg.
Martin, you require
He
112.
made a change of flight for this game, and he was using an all-black stem before. He now has a clear one. So whether
92.
Edwards has changed the complete set of darts, or whether he's just changed flights and stems.
Go on, Kev.
100.
Could have hit the 180 to leave double one, opted
Martin, you
against
require
it. Turner then
20.
on double 10.
Mild boos coming down from the commentary
Shot on
box
the
there.
second leg, Martin Turner.
So 2-0 to Turner after a flying start.
Third
But Kevin
leg,
Edwards
it's
has
Kevin to
just
throw
caught
first.
fire.
Game on.
Hit 5 treble 20s on the spin in that previous leg. It amounted to nothing. But is it a sign that he's going to get himself into this match?
$81.
Doesn't like that one. Loves that one.
81.
Yeah, nice recovery. A little unlucky with the last.
96. $95. 140.
Martin Turner just not going away here.
$62.
And that was a brave dart as well. 2 in the ones. Didn't bottle it, stuck there and hit the treble 20.
$95. Martin, you require 124.
For 3-0. This could be a key exchange in this tie. Yeah, he's having a check of what his opponent's on. Now he wants double 11.
102. Kevin, you require 110.
Couldn't quite manage it, but Kevin Edwards on a ton topper of his own. And he's going to get a go as well.
Yeah, generally goes the 18 route for double 16.
94.
And on the wire.
Martin, you require 22. Game shot on the third leg. Martin Turner.
All going Turner's way at the moment.
Second
Fourth
breaker
flag,
throw in
it's
this
Martin
game
to
for
throw first.
Martin Turner.
Game on.
He's showing a lot of intent here, isn't he, this evening? Very positive.
60.
It will be 2 wins from 2 for Martin Turner. He'll be top of the table
100.
and simply the best up to this stage.
Was that a private answer?
44.
A
85.
good use of a dart that actually wasn't in the 20 there. He stacked on the dart in the 5 and went into the treble.
60.
Wise beyond his years, Kev. Wise beyond his years. Mandy's probably at home going, no, it's not. No, he's not.
140. $43. $100.
Well, he's in a good position to avoid the whitewash at least. At least 2 visits
Kevin, you
to
require
get rid of 76.
May only take 1. Can still be out in 1.
Game
He's
shot
out
on the
in 1.
fourth flag. Kevin Edwards.
The Yellow Flights get their first leg on the board.
Fifth flag. It's Kevin to throw first. Game on.
There is night flights. Can play in the dark with those.
100.
Actually, rather rare. The flights that both players are using. A really skinny one from Martin Turner and the pear-shaped ones from Kevin Edwards. Not conventional.
I had Steve Beaton here with his oversized pair flights that I remember back in the day, he telling me the story. He went to his darts manufacturer and said, I want some of these
100.
oversized flights, and they couldn't make them. You needed a new jig to make them. He said, well, get on and do it. I'll pay for it. And he still uses them to this day.
80.
He's getting a few deflections.
100.
Kevin Edwards. He might be about to taste his first defeat in this group. Martin Turner tees up 1-2-1. Already
100.
threatened
Martin, you
a similar
require
finish earlier on.
21.
This time it's treble 11. Would have left double 14. Instead it's the
It's your
ball,
and
and
the
that
match,
is beautiful.
Martin Turner.
As sweet as a nut from Martin Turner, who wins 4-1 and wins 4-1 for the second time tonight. 2 from 2 for Turner. A fantastic start. Gives it the Super Series stare. He means business this evening. Great match, actually. Both of them averaging north of 90, but it was Turner who raced away into a 3-0 lead, and he kept that buffer till the end. The 1-2-1 sealed it on the bullseye, sitting pretty at the top of the table. Stay with us. John Worsley, Derek Coulson next.
Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yes. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy time. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison!
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor!
One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler!
Welcome back to the live lounge in Portsmouth, UK, the home of the Modus Super Series. 24/7 darts broadcast to you on the Super Series channel. And that includes 8 live sessions a week. This is the 5th of this week's 8, and it is the first of Group B. The group.
First leg, it's John to throw.
It's going really well for Martin Turner, winning
Game on.
his first 2 matches. Derek Coulson is looking to join him. John Worley is out to stop him as he bids to get his first on the board with a win here. But the way that Derek played in his opening game, John's got his work cut out, you would think.
And I think John would have seen Derek playing that way and knows that he's got his work cut out. It's not a bad start from Worley. A nice straight turn to set himself down.
57.
I think this is going to be a ripper of a group this evening. I'm sure 1 or 2 may have joined us from other channels. Other darts this evening. Now
60.
Here for the Twilight Zone shift.
Yeah, nobody can get enough of darts these days. And even players later in life picking up the errors and getting rewards. Derek Coulson, the example of that, looking to make it through to a 3rd Champions Week.
100.
You wouldn't know it from talking to him, but he is Welsh, Derek Coulson, proud Welshman.
108. He. $29.
He's carrying on where he left off in the previous match, isn't he? Really strong start.
137.
He's one of those players that you do have to go toe to toe with and try and draw a mistake out of him, because he's just so proficient on the scoring areas of the board and efficient with it.
Derek, you require 32.
That it gives you no leeway whatsoever for mistakes or loose starts, and
Derek Coulson.
He will punish and punish you hard.
Second leg, it's Derek to throw first.
I mean, 13 darts to start. That is exceptional to break the throat. He's got a lot of quality.
One could say the more that Derek practices, the luckier he gets. I don't think there's anything luck about the way that Coulson plays.
Well, John Worley, though, seems to be a little bit better.
108.
Who am I to comment on anybody's appearance, but he does seem to look a little bit more sprightly in this one. I'm not sure if he's had a quick siesta between the last match and this, but he
100.
looks a little bit better, and he's playing a lot better.
Yeah, he sure is, and
78.
You just don't get a chance with Coulson to have a break. He doesn't give you a break.
Yeah, the consistency from Coulson is relentless. He's, you know what you're up against. You know what he's going to do. It's like playing a computer, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. And you have to stay nice and straight in this game to stay in the game. You can hit a couple of scores of 60 and a couple of 140s and still be in it. But if you start doing that with 41s and 45s and then hit a couple of 140s, you're still not in it. It sounds daft and only 30 points away, but it's a long 30 points away from the right area of the scoring or of the scoreboard of where you need to be to hurt your opponent. This is good stuff from Worley.
139.
He's at least taking the game to him.
Derek, you require 101.
This would really hurt, and this is what I was kind of talking about. Textbook stuff, isn't it? To break in 13 and then to go and hold in 5 visits as well. But he's not going to do that.
93.
And Worsley's got the chance
80.
to break straight back. You just get the sense he has to take it, and getting 2 darts at the double will certainly aid his cause. Double 5 found
Game shot on the second leg
by the defiant John Worsley.
He will scrap.
Third leg, it's John to throw first.
He will scrap for bits and pieces and try and get himself opportunities. And then when those opportunities come, John Worsley's one of those who will take them.
108.
And with that piece of momentum comes a 180 to back it up.
96.
He lost his throw in the first one, but then broke straight back in the second. With a 15 dart leg.
60. $96.
It's the midway match of the night, 5 of 10. Following it, Conan Whitehead facing Martin Turner. Then Worsley returns to face Kevin Edwards before Turner meets Coulson. Worsley plays Whitehead, and the evening's action comes to an end with Derek Coulson
139.
against Kevin Edwards. How many times he leaves himself on a finish after 9 darts? Only didn't in the previous leg because he was on 169.
Derek, you require 170.
Yeah, very much so. And it's, again, it's that accuracy around the treble 20.
140. John, you
Once
require
again, just adding the
76.
pressure to the 76 of Worsley. We saw him shoot the 80 previously. 42 left for Worsley.
Yeah, one of the 16 for tops, didn't
36.
he? Only scored a
Derek, you
14 with that
require
dart pulled.
30.
Coulson didn't care that he left himself double 15. He fancies it. I can't get much closer. Turns out he can.
Game shot
He
on
can
the
get
third
it.
leg. Derek
There was
Coulson.
only one place closer, and that was in. And again, this is
Fourth
the
leg, it's Derek
consistency
to
of
throw
Coulson. When he
first.
puts darts on the
Game
wire, other players then start to have a little lurch or a lean to one side or whatever. Coulson doesn't move a muscle. He's like a statue with just movement.
100.
The elbow joint, it just holds it up there and leaves it.
That was a third straight breaker throw in this match. A match in which Derek Coulson is producing a fantastic
85.
performance, an average, as you can see, of 104 and change.
Yeah, it looks like at the moment he's eclipsing that 92 that he had.
100.
His first game of the evening against Conan Whitehead, just a couple of games ago. That was match 3 in our fixture list of the evening. We are now in match 5.
82.
I'll be halfway through our evening's play, and Worsley's not doing too bad on a 91.65 either. On any other game, that would have seen him
60.
right in the mix. He's still in the mix here. It is only 2-1. It needs a treble visit here to keep himself in touch with Coulson.
100.
And he gets a nice one. An OTT dart and over the top. And finds the treble 20.
Coulson does the same thing.
100.
Leave himself a finish, this time after a dozen, but on his own throw.
56. Derek, you require 141.
Well, some sensible use there of the
105.
middle of the board. And then going back up to leave a double.
$41. Derek, you require 36. Game shot on the
Once
full
again, it's
flag.
clinical
Derek Coulson.
from Coulson. 3 out of 5 on the doubles, that's 60%. Still averaging well into three
Fifth flag,
figures in
it's
this
John to
game.
throw first.
And he could be
Game
on
on.
course for a second 4-1 victory of the evening, which would see him tied with Martin Turner.
100. $125. $60. $60.
Another thing I like about Derek, he won't be rushed along. Does things at his own pace and his own speed.
This might end up being a really frustrating night for John Worsley because this could be his best performance and he's just run into someone else producing a really high standard.
Yeah, he's very confident in his game at the moment, is Coulson, and
60.
confidence
Johnny
breeds
require
winning, and
161.
even 60s like that. Your opponent knows it's just a matter of time before they start dropping in.
$55.
And he's still fancy this leg, you know. If he can find 2, possibly 3 trebles, then the pressure is piled on John Worsley. Well, he's found 1, but that's not what I was referring to.
135.
A good recovery
Johnny
after that
require
first one into the treble
106.
5. Couple of treble 20s to boot.
And we did see Martin Turner wrap up a 4-1 win with a 1-2-1 checkout in the previous game. He did it
41.
by betting the bullseye. Can
Derek, you require
Coulson
121.
repeat the feat? He could. He can. Oh, and he
96.
almost did.
John, you require 65.
Yeah. A dart point is 2.3 millimetres in diameter. Had it been 2.5, that was in the ball. Worsley to save, double 10.
45.
Not to be this
Derek, you
time.
require 25.
So Coulson's back to tidy up the 25. It's 5 and goes for that statistically
Game shot and the match.
better
Derek
for a
Coulson.
left-hander double 10. It's another 4 win for Coulson. He's on 2 out of 2 for tonight's proceedings. And he'll be pleased with that. Worsley there with an 86 average, but just ran into Derek Coulson doing a 98. That's our highest average of the evening. And it's the percentage on the doubles for Coulson. We head into a short break, and when we return, we have Conan Whitehead taking on the Yorkshireman, Martin Turner.
54. Charlie Maguire, 164. 44. 32. Charlie require 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls of this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
require
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts. But he'll be coming back.
It's a moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the
81.
stage,
Charlie
approaching the
require
hockey with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
require
he's gone to
118.
bust it, maybe. The first title he won, he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that situation there, George
require
Scaife wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia require
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
require
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Got
Couldn't get the
it.
job
Got
done.
out the match! And the Red Dragon
George
Modus
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Scaife!
Going to go first. She's gone the 48 for 24, double 12. Game shot and the match. He has that second weekly title because it's glory for Yorkshire on the stage for Quality.
Yeah, Champions Week is certainly nearing, but it looks like it could be next week. 2 former champions in action in Group B, Jim McEwen and Andreas Harrison. Paul Hogan, who recently won a WDF title as well. Earlier in the week, Group A will feature a couple of Yorkshiremen in the form of Chris Quantock and the runner-up of the first series, Graham Usher, along with the ADC Global Champion, Devon Peterson. And in Group C, Johnny Haynes, joined by James Wilson and Richard McKee. Scott, just a quick word on next week. It is another star-studded lineup.
Yeah, it really is. You know, there's a few names from the past for me that jump out in front of me. James Wilson in Group C, not seen him for a while, so that's really good. Johnny the Punk Haynes, a good dear friend of mine of the last 20 years. We got it hammer and tongs. I see Paul Hogan back in Group B is good. Jim McEwen, Andreas again. Yeah, it looks a tasty lineup, doesn't it? And it looks like another brilliant Saturday night finals night coming up.
Certainly will be. That gets underway on Monday. But back to tonight. Here's what's happened so far. 2 wins apiece for Martin Turner and Derek Coulson. They've both won both of their games 4-1. Kevin Edwards, the other player to get a win to his name, meaning Conan Whitehead and John Worley, both without any points in the Group B table. Edwards on 2, Coulson and Turner both with identical records at the top. And Martin is looking to move clear at the top. He's about to take on Whitehead in Game 6 of tonight's 10. You'd have to say, for Conan Whitehead, he's going to have to get a move on and maybe has to win this match, Scott.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you've played lots of Group A's, this Group B does fly by, and you're 2 games down already. You really feel you can have a night where you can win 4 out of 4, but you are then sort of betting on a few results go your way. We think that you need 5 to be guaranteed, don't we? 4 sometimes goes to a count back. So, but one thing I do know, if you get no wins,
first leg,
you
it's
generally
Conan
don't go
to
through.
First. Game on.
Now, don't take your eyes off the screen during this affair, because your eyes will meet their eyes at some point. Both have given
41.
distant stares down the lens into your soul.
Maybe if they'd been in a 1980s
82.
military film, they'd have been asking, you eyeballing me, boy?
$140. $140.
We've mentioned that Martin Turner's not got that great record of getting through regularly here at the Super Series. But
55.
if he wins this match, he's almost there. That's the thing about Group B, isn't it? You're never really out of it after the first night, but if you win 3 or 4 games, you've pretty much done most of the damage.
I think he's come with a very much more focused purpose tonight. I think we're seeing him not overreact to darts. Things have been going right for him as well, which is, Martin is one of those that sort of thrives off a bit of confidence, and winning does nothing but bring you confidence.
41.
Him and Darren Johnson together are like Laurel and Hardy. Honestly, they're a double act. And when DJ's not with him here, I should think he feels like his right arm's cut off. But he throws with his left one, so that's okay, I suppose. But yeah, it's always good to see them two together having a few quips at one another, particularly at the seniors tour. They were.
This 1-2-5 earlier, Conan Whitehead managed to get the bullseye, followed it in. He'll be relieved to hit the 25 there. Treble 20 leaves tops.
85.
Well, that checkout's going to start to annoy him, isn't it?
36.
Will return, though, for the top
96.
target to take the lead.
Require 40. Game shot on the first leg, Conan Whitehead. Second leg, it's Martin to throw first. Game on.
Went with the darts, that one.
58.
There, geeing himself up in the background.
$29. $47.
I think
58.
this is the first time we've seen Martin Turner behind tonight.
Yeah, he has been very assertive this evening, but Let's see how this position affects him.
85.
The other issue is, in this group, as I said, he wins this match, he'll start to feel like he's almost there with 6 points.
108.
More often than not would qualify with 8. So would potentially only need one more win. But if he loses the match, he then faces
75.
Derek Coulson later this
Martin,
evening,
you
and he
require
will probably leave tonight
158.
disappointed with 4 because they came in his first 2 games.
Yeah, definitely. And
84.
you have to stay. You can't go game watching here. You can't start thinking, oh, I need 1 game. I've got 4 left. You start thinking like that. You go down a road of putting yourself through a bit of misery if you go like that. And
96.
then,
Martin, you
yeah,
require.
I'm speaking from
74.
experience, a lot of experience of that happening to me here. I'm pleased I experienced it. It may not happen again.
Game shot on the second leg.
Good rescue
Martin
at that
Turner.
from Martin Turner. Conan Whitehead just looks down at his darts. Another
Third
bullseye
leg,
finish.
it's Conan to throw first.
Conan
Game
usually
on.
the king of the bull himself, but Turner's taken it twice tonight.
55.
Not really seeing much of that aggression. You just see him a little bit trying to get himself pumped up in the
140.
background. But it just looked a little bit lethargic from Conan Whitehead at times. Disappointed there with the first start, standing up. He's going to... I thought he was going to come across to the treble 18.
41.
Ended up in the 1 instead. If he didn't like that lie, Scott, why stay there?
We quite often see him come out of there. So, yeah, I'm with you on that
96.
one. It's something that he usually does, and he's now seeing a frustrated figure there
41.
on stage. If Turner can pop in with a couple of trebles here.
95.
One's enough to leave himself the big fish.
Well, I mentioned that the bull hitting has been top draw from Turner
41.
tonight.
Martin, you require 170.
Does he feel like fish tonight?
Oh, it looks like a chicken tonight night for Martin Turner, but
60.
just unusual for Conan. 341s on the bounce.
Again, he doesn't like the light, but he's manoeuvring across the oche to try and get past it, and that's an incredible dart. I sometimes think he just sets himself
83.
challenges. He thinks this
Martin,
leg's
you
gone,
require
so he's going to let me see if I can
110.
get that in the treble 20 despite it being blocked.
Don't think this is the first time that Conan's done this. He will practice this type of thing at home.
on
And
the third leg. Martin
110
Turner.
for Martin Turner there. He just gets on with it.
Fourth leg. It's Martin to throw first. Game on.
He adds that to a 1-2-1 from his earlier game against Kevin Edwards.
40.
Well, Conan Whitehead there just really firing himself up. Almost breathing fire, wasn't he? And it was enough to turn up the heat so much on Martin Turner that he made a mess of his opening visit.
45.
It seems the more that Conan gets frustrated, the more it's music to Martin Turner's ears.
Well, we could see tonight a couple of players really race away from the rest of the field in Coulson and Turner. In a way, that's good news for Conan Whitehead and John Worsley, because if Kevin Edwards can be kept honest, then they'll just fight it out for a place between them, and at least there is still opportunity, even if you lose all your matches tonight.
Yeah, Edwards and John Worsley will be on
100.
next game, so If Worsley can win that one, he's not out of it either.
Yeah, if Worsley wins that, despite this disastrous start for Conan Whitehead, he remains just 2 points from qualification places effectively.
Yeah, with both of those players for himself to play again, so the destiny will be in his own hands.
100. Martin,
Well, Turner's finishing has been exemplary so far. A brilliant 110 in the previous leg. How about going even better? Not to beat.
89. Conan, you require 156.
Made it a good look though, didn't he? That's 156 for Whitehead. And now he's giving it a good look.
120. Martin, you require 52.
Well, it's always going to be difficult the way the dart was dangling over the double. And Conan Whitehead gets a reprieve. Same target, different outcome, all square. And Conan is kind of in control now. He hasn't looked in control at all in this match, but it's 2-2 and he has the darts in the fifth.
Conan to throw first.
And it's unusual to see him in control because he's
game on.
9 and a bit points in the averages. Lower than Martin Turner. And Martin Turner, I feel a little bit hard done by here. I think he's probably feeling he's done enough to be 3-1, but the barbarian that Conan is, he doesn't let you get away.
85. $125.
And all of a sudden, it's starting to turn round for Whitehead.
55.
Turner's now stopping to hit those trebles.
And he just does seem to be
46.
the kind of player, doesn't he, Conan Whitehead, that needs the fire in his belly, that needs the adrenaline pumping through his veins, and he's tried to give that to himself tonight. Maybe he's just found it in the nick of time.
125.
Of that, there is no doubt. $100. Turner doing enough to keep Conan honest, but he's going to have to hit a treble here.
62.
He hits one of value.
You require 135.
It was the 2 ones that caused him the problem. So Whitehead is looking at 6 from here. And looking like he's going to need them. Oh, what a big
81.
last dart. What a big last dart from Whitehead.
Yeah, great stuff there from Conan to
54.
54 to
Conan,
take the lead in this one.
54.
Double 20 becomes double 10. Can't find
44.
either.
Martin,
So
you
we know what
require
Turner can do.
120.
Finishes in this range. We've seen a 110 in this match. We saw a 1-2-1 in his previous match. Are we going to see a Shanghai shot as well?
80. Conan, you require 10.
Conan thought it was going.
Game shot on the fifth
That
leg.
goes for
Conan
Co.
Whitehead.
Well, he's up for it, and on that occasion he was up to it. 3-2.
Sixth leg. It's Martin to throw first. Game on.
No panic yet here for Turner.
54.
He has the throw, but I always find this sixth leg in this situation very difficult because all the momentum is with your opponent and you're battling to stay in the match. Sixth leg is always difficult mentally. You don't think twice about it if you're playing well and you've won the leg before, but
75.
It does seem to be closing it out, Conan Whitehead, and again we could see 2 players' fortunes take a real turn here.
100.
Martin Turner won his first 2 games. Conan Whitehead lost his first 2 matches. But Whitehead will take on the out of sorts John Worsley in his final game, and Turner will take on the very much in sorts Derek Coulson.
100.
Likelihood is becoming that they'll end the evening on the same amount of points, this pair, as Whitehead edges towards the finish line.
134.
Yeah, he does indeed, and you just think Martin Turner will probably be thinking, I don't know how that one got away.
85. Conan, you require 60.
Well, it will get away if Whitehead can convert 60. Tricky for him. The darts stand up and block beds. So he'll be relieved to have a clear double.
50.
Well, he offers an opportunity to Turner to get back in the game. It's in the form of a 105. Not to be on this
54.
occasion.
Conan, you require 10. Game shot. And
But
the
it
match,
is
Conan
this
Whitehead.
time around, and it is go for Co. Finally off the mark. The 4-2 success against Martin Turner. Yep, he's finally finding the trebles, he's finally finding the doubles, and he's finally found a victory back here on the Super Series stage. Conan Whitehead defeats Martin Turner by 4 legs to 2, picking up his first points of the night, and John Worsley will hope to do the same when he takes on Kevin Edwards after the break. Well, as we approach the midnight hour, the darts action continues here at the Modus Super Series live on Pluto TV and free on Pluto TV, as it always will be. But can Kevin Edwards break free from the chasing pack, or will John Worley make it deadlock in that race for P3? If Worley wins, he, Edwards and Whitehead will all be deadlocked on 2 points. Martin Turner dragged back into a perilous position as well, having won his first 2 matches. He'll only be 2 ahead of those. He does take on Derek Coulson in his next game, the game that follows this. Coulson still has 2 games to play and could yet go through the card. Worley hoping to avoid a winless start to his Group B campaign. Yeah, mixed fortunes for Edwards tonight. He lost out 4-1 to Turner after beating Conan Whitehead 4-2 in the first match, but Worley has been beaten 4-1 twice by Messrs Turner and Coulson. Although Scott did play much better against Derek, didn't he, than he did against Martin?
Yeah, very much so. He kind of had to, really.
$22. $60. $100.
Edwards starting to find his range again.
$100.
The problem for him is so is John Worley. He's 92 to the good on the Edwards throw.
98.
So he has managed to turn the throw round, Worley, here in leg 1.
$140.
Yeah, it's decent stuff, this, from the Womble. 62 after a dozen. Pressure applied with another treble from Kevin Edwards to leave himself on a slightly more favourable finish. Because he will get 2 darts at double.
42.
And indeed he will, because Worsley's a mile off with that one.
Double 4 then, perfect marker.
48.
Oh, hit the wrong side.
John, you require 20.
So Worley comes back for the double 10. Surely no mistakes here. Just on the inside wire.
Game shot
No mistakes on the double 5. There's been some good hitting of that double 5 this evening.
Leg. It's John to throw first. Game on.
That's a break for Worley. Suddenly, he might start to make himself feel a little bit better. Played better against Coulson. He's carried it on here. Gets the first leg one against the throw.
59. $60.
3 matches that remain after this one. Martin Turner against Derek Coulson, a clash at the top of the table. Then Worley
60
versus Whitehead before Edwards ends his evening and the evening with a clash with Coulson. And following tonight's live action, you can watch the best of Luke Littler at the Live Lounge. He hit plenty of those, you know.
Yeah, frustrates you, doesn't it? It's the consummate ease that he hits them with is the frustrating part. When I'm
60.
hitting 180s, I really have to try and really concentrate, and he just does it with absolute ease.
91.
Hit a few 170s here as well, and that's what Kevin Edwards has left to try and level up proceedings here. Kind of get the same feeling as the previous match. Worley did get an early break in that one, but it was cancelled out quickly. And the big fish could be netted. Oh, just over the top.
134.
Yeah, like we did there, old school, across to the 54. None of this messing around with the bullseye.
$66. Kevin, you require
That left him
36.
double 18, which he's got all the time in the world to take out.
Game shot on the second
makes that
leg.
tricky
Kevin
switch
Edwards.
to double 9 look easy.
Yeah, 14 dart. Break
Third leg, it's
straight
Kevin to
back
the row
from
first.
Edwards.
Game on. $60. $99. $100. $41. $60. $25.
Not what John Worley was looking for under the circumstances. Edwards has a chance now to put paddle to the metal.
80.
Well, if there was one going to fall out, that was the right one to fall out. That was the one that was worth a lethal amount of points. Had that have been the treble 20 falling out, there would have been a look of horror on his face.
Might be a look of horror on his face now as he watches Worley keep sliding to the right and finding the treble.
135.
Unfortunately, the last start was in the wrong treble, but it does make it levels your devils in this leg.
Yeah, made it good inroads there, didn't he, Worley?
140.
When one double treble visit turns up, like a London bus, the second one comes along right after.
45.
Well, that, though,
Kevin, you require
does hand the
61.
initiative to Kevin Edwards in this third leg. Options on this? And he executed it expertly.
Kevin
A
Edwards.
2-1 advantage for Edwards.
Fourth leg, it's John to the
We
row
finally
first.
have a leg that goes with throw here.
$28.
That's what Edwards lost out in game 4 with a 90 average to Martin Turner, and he can feel a
60.
little bit hard done by with that, because Turner's average was 0.6 more than his over all the darts thrown in those 5 legs. But Edwards is on that average. He's just on the cusp of that 90
94.
average, which is where he seems to be. He seems to like to hang out.
100.
And as we keep saying, if you can hang on that cusp around that 90 average, makes you very difficult to beat.
$140. $140.
All right, on cue again. Treble visits back to back for both players. The one ball had just started wandering away.
137.
Reel back in from Edwards.
$95. John, you require
So
102.
once again, not much to choose between them when it comes to the end of a leg, but Worsley with the first shot. Great dart to tee up tops.
82.
Just once again,
Kevin,
the bit
you
at the
require
end has been the real
106.
problem tonight for John. Still possible. Treble 17 would leave him on top. It's not going to happen.
74. John, you require 20. Game shot on the fourth leg. John
Nicely
Worth.
done from Worsley. No mistake this time round.
Fifth leg. It's Kevin
It's
to the
another hole to
reverse.
throw.
Game on. $100.
Edwards will be frustrated here. He's averaging 15 points more than his opponent, but he's tied at 2 apiece.
48.
The good news for him is having the throw just keeps the advantage in his favour.
108.
Yeah, you can see a big deviation sometimes in the averages like that. All it means is that Edwards was close on
26.
Worsley's throw, and Worsley's been nowhere near on Kev Edwards' throw.
$55.
I didn't want to go that way because it, as you can see on the scoreboard, leaves the 166. But nothing to worry about at this moment because John Worsley's back on 427 and
97. $60. $45.
That's all
Kevin, you require
hard work
106.
for Worsley. Edwards now looking at treble 18, finds it, and double 16 finds that as well.
Shot on the fifth leg.
A fine
Kevin
check out
Edwards.
for a 15 dart leg. 106 sees Edwards wrestle back the
Sixth
advantage
leg. It's John to throw first.
and
Game
move
on.
within one of a second win tonight.
yeah, his first ton topper in Group C.
56.
He was the first person to beat John Worsley this week, Kevin Edwards. Worsley won all 4 of his matches in Group A on Monday before Edwards ended that run
60.
with a 4-3 success. So Worsley got his revenge the following day with a 4-1 win and repeated that result when they met on Wednesday.
125. $108.
Well, a win here would tie up that head-to-head ahead of what may well be their final battle tomorrow.
85.
Looking at the league table, finding it very difficult to see both of them going through. And Kevin Edwards can open up a 4-point gap between himself and the man he's trying to beat if he does cross the line here.
42.
Yeah, understandable to go that way for the Bullen 25, but didn't quite execute the way he wanted it.
77.
Edwards managed to find a random 54 chasing round the board, which is why at times you should give that a go.
Kevin, you require 124.
Worley asserts the pressure. He sat on 96. Treble 18 for the bullseye.
99.
Oh, it would have been a grandstand finish as well. 96. So the match had Edwards hit that.
To keep it going then. Double 18.
Game shot on the
Full
sixth
credit
leg.
to John Worsley. Came here a little under the weather.
7 from final leg.
Well, at
It's
the start
Kevin
of the night,
first.
well, you worried whether he'd even be able to play on, but he's got himself together. And he now has a chance to pick up his first win. But don't look up. Whatever you do, John, don't look up.
135.
That's all he needs, isn't it? He's got himself into this position, and he sees Kevin Edwards kick off like that. And sees himself kick off like this.
28. $100.
Edwards again keeps applying the pressure on that very Worsley mistake, and I wouldn't he'd like to be the one with the darts in this final leg
95.
with Worsley.
Reminder coming next, it is the tussle
58.
at the top between the unbeaten Derek Coulson and Martin Turner, who also has 4 points with 2 wins from 3.
$60. $100. $92. Kevin, you require 108. $38.
So Worsley trying to apply a bit of pressure here in this final leg. It's the first match this evening we've had gone 4-3.
Kevin, you require 70.
So Edwards in for the match. He's gone treble 18 for double 8. One on the wire. Oh, he's busted it back as well by hitting
John, you
the
require 126.
double 16 next door. So really opened up a chance for Worsley here.
Yeah, is that the bit of luck he needed? He's had no rub of the green all night, but he can't find the green bit to give himself a dart at the bullseye. However, as Scott Mitchell just explained,
46.
because of hitting the wrong double
Kevin,
there
you
and busting his
require
score,
70.
Kevin Edwards has to start the 70 attempt all over again.
$54.
And he can't get it right.
John, you require 80.
First 2 darts were always in the identical hole they were in before.
So, for a win, double top, and that will be a terrific tonic for John Worsley. He shakes his head. He's not quite sure how he's managed to win that game, but he has won the game and he has put himself in the race. If he can rest and recover, there's still a route to finals night for John Worsley. A 4-3 win, but look at that, the disparity in the averages, some 14 points. Kevin Edwards won't believe he's lost that chance. Missed match starts in the process, but it's Worsley who gets an all-important win. Coming up after the break, Turner takes on Coulson.
Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yes. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison!
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor!
One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler!
if you haven't experienced a Saturday night of the Super Series yet, then do make sure that it is on your darting bucket list for 2025. Why not come along this Saturday? Tickets are available via dartshop.tv, and you could see, well, one or maybe both of these players on the stage on Saturday night. Martin Turner and Derek Coulson both have 4 points at the top of the Group B table. Coulson, though, has only played 2 matches to get them. He's undefeated so far, the only player in this group that can say that. And if he wins Game 3, then he's got the chance when he faces Kevin Edwards later tonight to go through the card and pretty much secure a Saturday spot already. He would be mathematically just 1 win away, so a repeat of that result tomorrow would see him there. Martin Turner, though, hoping to end that run for Coulson and go top of the table as he leaves the venue tonight. And if he does end up losing this match, I think he'll probably feel quite disappointed having won his first 2 matches
leg, it's Martin
and having done it so convincingly, Scott.
Game on.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think that Martin was there and thereabouts with his game
100.
Conan in the last one, but he just Conan sort of came back at him and he had no response. But you have to say the man of the group so far has been
93.
Derek Coulson.
Yeah, I think this match is all about Martin Turner. If he can play to the level that he did at the start of the night,
55.
then we could be in for a belter. If he can't, then he could be dismissed quite quickly.
Yeah, and you know that Coulson's not going to do that. He's 2 games thus far tonight have been 92 average and a 98.
100.
And you just know he's not going away.
Got an average of more than 90 for his entire lifespan here at the Super Series, which is an incredibly high standard.
44.
I will try to get to him and explain to him nobody likes to show off here at the Super Series, but it's just an astounding record. He's had so many games here. It's not over 1 or 2 games, and you think, you're running a 90 or 8 or 10 over a Super League season in some places. It's a fair amount of games, and they come fast and furious and rapidly, and it's not easy with the highs and lows that comes with a round robin experience.
100.
To keep that average ticking along there, it is very difficult.
Well, the option is here for a maximum checkout. Will he be tempted by the bull?
138.
No, he does not give in to temptation. Sets up instead.
If he did, he was a fair way away from it.
100. Derek, you require 32.
The wily old fox leaves double 16 instead. That becomes double 8. And that sees Coulson break in the opening leg.
The only explanation I have for that, he must have been reading Sense and
Second
Sensibility
leg,
before he
first.
left the hotel tonight.
14 dart break as well. Once again, Coulson has come racing out of the blocks.
100.
I know a player that'll get on your nerves,
60.
That Coulson, brilliant, just brilliant.
There only used to be one contender for the most annoying commentator at the Modus Super Series, but it's becoming a close run thing.
100.
It's rubbing off, isn't it? You keep putting me in here too much with him.
100.
Could be worse. My voice hasn't broken yet. I haven't started squeaking at you yet.
Don't know what you mean.
Yeah, I hope he's watching. He probably will be by now.
And again, Coulson on a finish after 9 darts. I mean, you don't even need to watch. You know exactly what he's going to do. Leg after leg,
Derek, you require
match after match.
161.
Will he be tempted by the bullseye this time? Should he get the treble 20 and the treble 17? We won't know. Ironically, he might use the bull.
57.
Maybe that's why he didn't go for it before.
He's got options on 104.
42. Derek, you require 104. $60. 140. Derek, you require 44.
A little pressure applied by the Yorkshireman Martin Turner, but off he goes
Game
to
shot on
double
the
16
second leg.
and
Derek Coulson.
absolutely clinical.
Third leg,
Once
it's
more.
Martin to throw first. Game on.
2 from 3 on the double so far. In the couple of legs he's played.
43.
Running a 96 average. Just doing exactly what it says on the tin.
Yeah, we felt it could go one or two ways. Either Turner gives him a game or he doesn't. And unfortunately for Martin, it's the latter right now. If the gap in standard between them
96.
stays like this, Martin will be lucky to get nil. About 20 points between them.
60. $140.
Yeah. Poor visit. I said poor visit. 60 is not a poor visit. But it was jumped all over by Martin Turner there with a 140.
100.
It would have felt good. I think it did deflect a little bit. Hence the reaction from Derek.
50.
Maybe that's something he's going to have to get used to with this new setup.
And Martin Turner should have been thinking about a visit to the bullseye himself there, because had he hit the 25, he'd be on a finish.
Yeah, the extra 5 points vital in that situation.
140.
Particularly now that Coulson's found the lipstick again.
84. Derek, you require 101.
Well, Martin Turner's night might be going into room 101. Coulson has his hand on the lever. Well, that was an attempt at treble 14. A miss by a massive margin.
43. Martin, you require 88.
Double 7.
74. Derek, you require 58. Game shot on the third leg. Derek
No mistakes
Coulson.
from Coulson.
Fourth leg, it's Derek to throw first. Game on.
Once again, Martin Turner's in a position where he doesn't really want to go down 4-0 here because
85.
makes difference on the count back as we get through to the latter stages of tomorrow's group.
36.
Could cause a few overnight nightmares.
I don't think it's going to happen based on the positions in Group C, but I was kind of hoping
140.
that we'd see Derek take on Andy McDermott, because we'd then have Delbo and Rodney, wouldn't we?
80.
We would indeed, but
And we'd get the chance to see him play at Coulson.
So I suppose because it's not going to happen, it's na 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 na.
140.
Back to I Know a Song again.
It is indeed. They're all old ones.
125.
If you're under the age of
Derek, you
35,
require
you won't get any of these.
136.
Right, can Coulson pull the trigger? Not going to finish it here, but you sense he will in the next few seconds.
Yeah, nicely set up there. And you do feel that these are the last. This is the last throw for Martin Turner in this match.
100. Derek, you require 40.
So 4-0 for 4-0. And Derek Coulson claims a comfortable win against Martin Turner, whose night really was one of two halves, wasn't it? The grand old Duke of York comes back down the hill again. Having won his first two matches, he loses the following two after a clinical Coulson really put him to the sword. And another average north of 90, that's just what he does. 93.94, 50% checkout success, and a perfect record so far tonight. One more match to come for him, but before we see Coulson again, we'll see John Worley take on Conan Whitehead.
Charlie McGuire, 164. 44. 32. Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least two handfuls at this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
required
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion. The moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the stage,
Charlie
approaching the
required
hockey with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think he's gone to
180.
bust it, maybe. The first title he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust. And
39.
on that situation there, George Scaife wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
required
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go
Couldn't get the job
it.
done.
Got in the match! And the Red Dragon
George
Modus
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Scaife!
Two games left to go then on the opening night of Group B, and we've seen every single player record at least one victory so far. John Worley and Conan Whitehead both broke their ducks in their third games of the night. Whitehead getting a 4-2 victory over Martin Turner. Worley edging past Kevin Edwards 4-3. So one of them's going to end the evening quite happy, having won half of their matches and had the opposite evening to Turner, winning the first two and losing the last two. One of these will lose the first two and win the last two. The question is, which one? Scott Mitchell, based on what we've seen tonight, who's most likely?
Oh, yes, I'm going to try and sit on the fence here, but the fence
First
won't
leg,
take it.
it's John to throw first.
I'm thinking that
Game on.
maybe we're starting to see Conan come back into the evening here. He knows this is an important one, and it would be damage limitation for him if he could muster 4 points from what in
85.
Conan's terms would be, it was a poor start to the evening for him, wasn't it, with 2 defeats. Not what we usually see from him.
60.
I don't know whether there'll be any apprehension for both players here. It's quite an important game, and both would be happy to go on to 4 points from for their evening's work, having
81.
struggled early doors. So
56. $108. He. $140. John, you require 155.
Well, an attempt there for the 155 after the maxi from Worsley. Great little spell. 5 perfect darts, but couldn't find the double. He'll be back for it, and he'll still have the opportunity to split it if he so
John,
wishes.
you require 38.
Well, he was caught in two minds there. His eyes went right, then left.
Game shot on the
Gets there
first
in the
leg.
end.
John Worsley.
yeah, nicely done. It was one of those moments where he put his
Second
foot to the
leg,
hook and he
it's
still
Conan to
hadn't
the
quite
first.
decided what he was
Game
going to
on.
do. I think he felt splitting was going to put a little bit more pressure on the 2 darts that he still had in his hand.
55.
I'm a firm believer of if you're going to split it with the first dart, but have a chance of winning the leg as well. And then tidy it up from there. Rather than do the tidy bit first and then have
100.
2 darts at a different double. We see it an awful lot now, particularly with the top players in the world. They can get away with it.
81. $100. 40.
Last match of tonight, we'll see Derek Coulson look to complete the full house with 4 of a kind, all wins. If he can beat Kevin Edwards, and if Coulson does that, then
100.
he's pretty much through. In fact, if he wins his next 2 games in this group, the last of tonight and the first of tomorrow, he'll definitely be through.
99.
Does look like there's going to be a real battle
26.
between the rest of them, though, Scott. Whoever wins this match will join Turner and Turner on 4 points, and Kevin Edwards can only get to that amount, and to do that, he'd have to beat Coulson. So we are going to see a real
59.
scrap between those 4 for the remaining 2 places.
Yeah, it's. I said at the top of the show that I felt it was going to be a bit like a stock car race where you throw a blanket over them all, and
93. Conan, you require
got
167.
it slightly wrong because it does look like Coulson's out in the way, and we're only going to be throwing a blanket over 4 of the 5.
99.
So 82 for
you
John
require
Worsley to double
82.
his lead. And he's going to be very, very pleased with his decision to play tonight if he gets out with 2 wins. Tops
62.
just took a nosedive at the
Conan,
last.
you require 68.
16 for double is usually the chosen route. This time it's 8 for tops.
28. John, you require 20.
Double top has got away from him again this evening. Worsley. Oh, a little bit of a way in on the double. Hits
John,
the double 5.
leg. John Worsley.
Worsley 2 to the good.
Third leg, it's John to throw
And
first.
can't even look at him.
Game on.
And Worsley has the darts in this third leg.
$80.
An effective switch to the treble 18. He's so good at that. Conan Whitehead.
Yeah, we did say in game 1 we expected to see a lot of that this evening, and we haven't seen a lot of it from Conan.
100. $125.
Yeah, good response from Whitehead.
$59.
If he can break here, then it's very much game on. He would have the darts in leg 4 to make it all square. And it then becomes a race to 2. Oh, John Worsley should have come out then himself to the 18 segment. As it happens,
Conan, you require
doesn't find a treble
108.
anyway. Double 16 this time.
76.
He misses that as well, but he's got time on his side with Worsley back on 2-2-1.
$57. Conan, you require 32. Game shot on the third leg. Conan Whitehead.
So halves the deficit.
And now has the throw.
Fourth leg, it's Conan to throw first. Game on. $43. $94. $44. $81.
What's he still plugging away here?
Yeah, it's just
56.
a bit of a slog for the pair of them suddenly in the middle of the match. Worsley was flying at the start, but having been cut back, it is just a bit of a plod, isn't it?
Yeah, more to do with the situation, I think, rather than the ability of
92.
both players. We've seen better from both of them this evening, but yeah, it's a really important game, and these two are obviously quite fully aware of it.
81.
I'm trying to sweep from right to left here.
100.
He's okay.
Yeah, unlucky for more would have been the call if that was in a public house. All over it.
87. John, you require 134.
2 visits to take this out. 134. Options, treble 18 perhaps? No, he's gone for treble 20. No, treble 14. Oh, this is from nowhere. Out of a clear blue sky.
118.
Not quite. But he will return.
$92. John, you require 16.
There's the marker.
No score.
It was
Conan,
nearly
you
too good a
require
marker, wasn't
98.
it? Second one.
Game shot on the
You
fourth
could
leg.
see that
Conan
coming.
Whitehead.
You could see that coming.
Fifth leg. It's John to throw first.
Become a real battle, this.
Game on.
Both embroiled. Conan Whitehead letting you all know what he's thinking.
140.
We should call that mystery cam and wonder what's going through his head at the moment.
125.
There is a little bit that he hasn't worked out, Conan Whitehead, because if the eagle-eyed viewer will spot, he's talking to that camera while his opponent's throwing. So he's assuming that we're not actually showing his opponent's darts, so we're just showing him.
138. $100.
What was he's opened up with? 140, 138, and he's back in there again.
180.
Leaving Worley 43 after 9 is not too shabby at all.
85. John, you require
Whitehead takes
43.
chase. But it's Worley who's looking in pole position.
Conan nods, thinking it's going. It hasn't gone,
23.
but there's not a lot Conan can do about it. Can't finish. All he can do is try and apply some kind of pressure.
93. John, you require 20.
Which he does. Dips him down to a 2-digit number, but is it all in vain? Worley one more at it.
No score.
He
Co-
just
Conan, you
couldn't
require
get it. He was
98.
creeping away, but that last one went in.
Already taken out 98 in this match. He's not going to do it again.
58. John, you
Yeah,
require
excellently
20.
froze the last one. Worley surely.
Game shot on
Surely
the
going to
fifth
hit it,
leg.
and
John
surely
Worley.
listens.
I think he kind of used that first dart. It laid down nicely for
Sixth
him
leg.
to
It's
stack
Conan
on
to
top
throw
of.
first. Game on. $45.
And you have to say a non-treble visit there. Should make Worley's eyes light up like dinner plates.
Do you have light up dinner plates at your house?
39.
Well, I have had my eyes as big as my dinner. Yes, I have.
26.
When you had somebody drive towards you in another car on the road, your eyes do it then as well. Or a tractor driver coming towards you.
I never have one
140.
coming towards me. Usually he's stuck behind these blokes on tractors.
Yeah.
I'm sure they just do it for fun.
Absolutely.
40.
We do have competitions between us about how many cars we can get behind us. It's fantastic.
What shall I do on Sunday? I've got to slow down the traffic, shall I?
Yeah, come and sit in the traffic behind us. Nice Sunday jaunt.
Anyway, if you haven't
61
yet, do keep an eye on the schedule for On the Hockey, or should I say On the Farm with Scott Mitchell. You can take a glimpse
108
behind the scenes. There's a lot more to our Scott than meets the eye.
$45.
What do you prefer working with, Scott? Animals or dart players?
56.
Both pretty much similar, to be fair.
Well, we've got a Womble on the stage at the moment. Is he about to pick up a second win in as many matches?
100. Conan, you require 154.
He's giving himself a chance at the 116 because Whitehead. Oh, nice from Conan.
134.
Leaves
Conan, you
himself
require 116.
double 10. So 2 bites at the cherry. The cherry is hit with the first bite. Comes out onto the 16s, and this for a much needed win for John Worley.
96.
Just
Conan, you require
Just
20.
didn't give it the right elevation. So Whitehead to take us down the last. Double 5.
Game shot on the 6th leg.
Nobody misses
Conan
5s,
Whitehead.
did they tonight, Murph?
Yeah, it has been on the end of their arm this evening.
7th and final
Goes down
leg.
to a
It's
single
Johnson
leg.
go first.
Who will be
Game on.
in the box seat between this pair come the start of Friday night's running? Whoever wins this leg will rescue
96.
their night, will win their final 2 matches and take their points tally to 4, and will be level with Martin Turner on that amount. And 2 off the top. Derek Coulson on 6, but he'll be hoping to add to that in the final
100.
match. Kevin Edwards, his final opponent in the last game of the session.
$96.
Derek, you can expect to average about 92.
137.
So consistent, and that's what we haven't seen from this pair, isn't it? They've been very much in and out, not just game after game, or even leg after leg, but visit after visit.
22.
Yeah, not what the Womble ordered there. His darts were wandering then.
94.
I have to say that's a strong last start from Whitehead to leave the big fish in 170. Massive deflection there for the Womble, but does follow it with the
Conan, you
second.
require 170.
Leaves him on a bogey.
58.
Really needs a treble.
65.
Okay, they're
Conan,
sensing
you
that.
require 112.
2-darter rather than a 3-dart finish. This can still be rescued. Treble 19, not to be. So is Worsley's little play there going to help him win this match?
44. John, you require 97.
He may go double 19. I think his eyes went down there. He's got 2 darts. If he thinks he's got 2 darts, he's got to be double 19, double top. And I'm not quite sure, Scott.
57. Conan, you require
I mean, I'm assuming it was a dart at the
68.
double, but wow.
No, it's got me seeing stars, that one.
36.
So Whitehead
John, you
misses
require
one match
40.
start at a double. John Worley comes back for tops.
Is that a help or a hindrance? Doesn't matter. Double 10. Oh, the
20.
pressure. Pressure, pressure,
Conan, you
pressure.
require 32.
It's going to be hard fought, this. But it's Whitehead who wins it.
Match, Conan Whitehead.
Brilliant. From the Barbarian to turn his night around, but boy did he have to work hard for it. It's a 4-3 success against John Worsley, a win that takes him into the top 3. 4 points for Conan Whitehead. And coming up after the break, we are going to see if Derek Coulson can complete the card. He takes on Kevin Edwards in the final match of the session. So, one last game then for this session. Game 10 sees Derek Coulson take on Kevin Edwards. Two players who impressed in their own way at the World Seniors Championship recently. Kevin, in a defeat actually to Mike Huntley, played really well. Mismatch starts. Well, in the same round, the first round, Derek Coulson won arguably the greatest game ever played on a senior stage against Mervyn King and went on to reach the semi-finals. And he's carried on that form here at the Modus Super Series with 3 wins from 3 tonight. If he can beat Kevin Edwards in this match and when they meet in Game 1 tomorrow, that will be it. He will be through to Saturday once again, and he's already managed that 4 times in 5 previous attempts. Ultra reliable, ultra consistent, and tonight, top quality. He has been, well, miles better than anybody else, Scott.
85.
Yeah, he has, and he's kind of had a little look at the group, and I thought it was going to be pretty even, which it kind of has for the other 4, but he's been the standout player with averages of 92, 98 and 93 in his 3 matches so far.
140.
If he was a snooker player, you'd call him Mr. Boring, like Steve Davis, wouldn't you, back in the day? But you have to say, just super consistent.
85.
Put a game up there that's made himself difficult to beat, and that's what the art of the game is all about.
Apparently has been a decent snooker player in his time. In fact, grew up with a snooker table in his bedroom.
6.
Not sure how big his bedroom was, but he had a snooker table and a dartboard in there.
Yeah, played county pool as well before he decided to take up
76.
darts. His friends decided they wanted to have a dart team from the pool team, and that was that. Ironically, it was the other way. From my dart team decided we wanted to play pool, and we went the other direction.
66.
And had a few years playing in the pool leagues around and about, one night a week.
$81. Derek, you require
150 on offer here for Coulson. We won't see any triple bullseye nonsense from him. Even declined the ball earlier in the evening for a 170 checkout. But he might have to hit it at the end of the 90 combo because Kevin Edwards has come knocking at his door here.
26. Derek, you require 90.
Surely it's 2020 here for the bullseye. No. Double 15. And we know he likes that. He's already hit that this evening. And it's those bread and butter shots that
second leg. It's Kevin to the
come
reverse.
into the clutches of
Game
Derek Coulson, and he just seems to take them out. He keeps winning those vital moments, doesn't he? He doesn't give one up, and I suppose it's the easiest way to play. If you don't give one up, you don't put yourself under any pressure.
It's the way that he's starting games as well, Derek Coulson. He's just immediately off the bat putting that pressure on the opponent. Superb. In hitting the ground running.
45.
Actually has gone out. That was his worst start to a match, that. 17 darter to win that first leg. In his other 3 matches, 13, 14, 14 in leg 1.
85.
I'll have to take him to one side and have a word with him about that. He's only dropped 2 legs all evening as well. It's been a masterclass from Coulson.
78.
And dropped no matches closing in. I mean, I say mathematically he will be through with 2 more wins, but you think with a win here, that's him safe. Getting all the work done in night 1. And that could be ominous because he'll come here even more confident, even more calm tomorrow and could well complete the card in the group.
Yeah, could well indeed. And but first and foremost, I want to make sure the job's done. But you would think with his legs difference, the way that he's going, even If he lost 4 to Murray, we'd still be within a shout.
Derek, you require 116.
116 then for 2-0. It's almost been like he's thrown first in every leg tonight. He's been that dominant. Can Edwards stop him? Needed something supersized.
100. Derek, you require 16. Game shot on the second
2-zip
leg.
then
Derek Coulson.
to Coulson with that break of throw.
Third leg. It's
If
Derek to throw first.
he does go on and win this one
Game
4-0, Kevin Edwards would actually slip to the bottom of the table. That after winning the very first match of the night 4-2 against Conan Whitehead.
45.
Yeah, he lost out with a 90 average 4-1 to Martin Turner early doors tonight, and lost to John Worley with just shy of a 90. You could say that Edwards would be fairly unlucky, and with those averages to have ended up on the wrong side.
Well, arguably, we're looking at the best two players tonight, and one of them will be top, the other could be bottom.
Yeah, it's about timing and moments, and Edwards has been on the wrong end of a few of those, whilst playing pretty consistently.
100.
Coulson cruising at the moment. A reminder that earlier tonight we did
125.
reveal the player lineup for next week. And there are plenty of big names in action at the Super Series on week 8. Chris Quantock, Graham Usher and the ADC Global Champion Devon Peterson making up Group A with Robbie Long, Romeo Gervabats and Steve
57.
DeBuck. In Group B, 2 former series champions in Jim McEwen and Andreas Harrison, along with Crocodile Dundee, Paul Hogan. And in Group C, Richard McKee, the ADC qualifier, joined by the Jammy Dodger, James Wilson, and
66.
the Punk, Johnny Haynes, in another stellar cast of our darting dozen at the Super Series.
Yeah, that is looking like a cracking week. There's players in each group there that could definitely go long into the competition next week.
85. Derek, you require 154.
Well, Edwards is threatening to break back here. There is a way to stop him. It starts with a treble 20. It's followed by a treble 18. And it ends on tops.
134. Kevin, you require
Great attempt
90.
from Coulson. Edwards surely will go treble 20 for double 15, and we've seen this once from Coulson already.
60. Derek, you require 20.
He knew he had to hit it, and maybe that made him miss it.
I can assure you it does.
Game shot on the third
Once
leg.
again,
Derek Coulson.
double 5 is no problem at all.
I'm going
Fourth
to go
leg,
straight
it's
home this
Kevin to
evening.
throw
I'm going to get my
first.
darts out, see if I can
Game
hit
on.
double 5 on my practice board, because everybody else is hitting it today.
85. $108.
Well, it's a kind of night, isn't it? And I know I shouldn't say it after 3 darts, but it is the kind of night where Derek Coulson has been threatening to do something rather special.
121.
He opens what he hopes will be the last leg of the session with the 180. Can he hit another?
140.
He was thinking what we were all thinking.
Yeah, he fancied that, didn't he? You can see from the reaction
6.
behind Kevin Edwards at Coulson. Really did. I feel like that could be the moment. If only the previous start had been there. There's no stopping this man. Oh, wow.
165.
So sat on 88 for a 10 darter to end the evening's play.
50. Derek, you require 16.
Not quite the 9. Not the perfect 10. Nor the 11.
Game shot.
But it is a perfect night for Derek Coulson, who wins all of his matches and does it in sublime style, dropping just 2 legs along the way and sending Kevin Edwards to the bottom of the table. Brilliant, brilliant victory for Coulson. Brilliant night for Derek Coulson. A 4-0 success to make it 4 wins from 4. Myself and Scott Mitchell will conclude everything after this break.
Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yes. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison!
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor!
One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler!
Well, this is what we've seen on the opening night of Group B this week. Kevin Edwards got off to a good start, but that was as good as it got for Kevin, losing his remaining 3 matches, compounded by a 4-0 defeat to Derek Coulson at the end of the evening. And what a night it was for Derek Coulson. 2 4-1 wins, followed by 2 4-0 wins, meaning that DC is way out in front at the top of the table. Double the points tally of second place Martin Turner and Conan Whitehead in third. John Worley and Kevin Edwards both have a couple of points to their names. There's going to be a real battle between the other players. Look, Derek Coulson is pretty much through, and if he wins his first match tomorrow, he will be through. And it's been just really a marvellous display from him all night, hasn't it?
It's been a Coulson masterclass, is what it's been. It's he started the day off and got that 4-1 win, got himself up and running, and it's always difficult to come back when you've had such a good time here. You've got good memories of the place, but you want to come back and get those first treble 20s in the board and get those first legs won. And winning that first match 4-1, he's only dropped 2 legs all evening. He's been that dominant, not been under a 90 average at any point this evening, and that's what's made him extremely difficult to beat, and that's why he's top of the table.
Well, he's actually run at a 94 average tonight. I mean, just explain how good that is over 4 matches.
It is. It's super. You know, in old money, that's a 30 plus every time, and you know, we would all be sort of giving our left arm for that, but Derek uses his left arm to do 94 averages. But yeah, he's been outstanding, and you know, he's come in, he's changed darts as well recently, so it's not with a normal set of darts that he would use, and he'll leave here tonight absolutely delighted with that.
Yeah, brilliant performance in every game, really. And I mentioned in commentary there, the way he was starting off matches, he was just setting his stall out right from the off, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he was letting his opponents know that, you know, I'm here to be the business tonight, and I'm going to do the business. And by doing it in the early legs, you can get your opponents on the back foot nice and early and make them start to feel, oh, this is how it's going to be tonight, is it? He's on one of those tonight. And he's done all the donkey work already on day one of this Group B. And yeah, like you say, if he just gets that first one done tomorrow, he's home and dry.
Has he just made himself favourite to go on and win this week?
Very possibly, because of the numbers. The numbers we're talking about, our dear friend Chris Mason always talks about the numbers, and the numbers don't lie. And on this occasion, that is absolute fact. And he does look head and shoulders above the rest of what we've seen so far this week.
Well, let's talk about some of the other players in this group then. Martin Turner, a second in the table, but probably leaves disappointed, doesn't he, having won his first 2 matches, but then losing his next 2?
Yeah, Martin seemed to have a bit of a head of steam up, didn't he, after his first 2? And we thought, yeah, he's looking pretty confident here. He started checking out the 110s like this, but then just got a little bit stuck in the mud middle of the evening, didn't he? And had that one in the middle that didn't quite go his way, and that sort of dragged him down for the last one. So, but I think he'd have taken 2 wins out of 4 before the night started in the group that he is within. But now it's happened, he probably could have fancied just the 1 more win.
Opposite story for Conan Whitehead. Gets the same amount of points, but does it in the reverse fashion. It didn't start well for him. To be honest, the last match was a struggle and it could have gone either way, but he's got to be so pleased to pick up 4 points tonight.
Yeah, he's on the other end of the scale, isn't he? You're saying to yourself, well, that could have so easily been sort of like just the 2 points and leaving himself an awful lot to do tomorrow. Although, do I think that Conan, if he'd have done that, could not do it? Of course he could. He could go through the car tomorrow, but that's made his life a little bit easier tomorrow. He's in the mix, and it makes better reading for him as he hits the hay tonight.
And he was up to his old antics again, wasn't he? Take a look at this from Conan Whitehead. He knows where the cameras are, and he knows how to give them a good stare, doesn't he? He enjoys it at the Super Series, and he entertains us all, doesn't he?
Yeah, we are in an entertainment business with darts, and there's nobody likes to entertain more than the Barbarian.
Just a quick chat on John Worley as well, because when he played in that first game, he really did look a whiter shade of pale, didn't he, John Worley? And he seemed to just get a little bit better as the night went on. Maybe there are some signs of hope that he could force his way through to Saturday.
Yeah, I think once he got his head round, you know, starting to play. You know, the evening didn't start well for him, but as he got towards the end of he was still hitting his 180s. He was still giving himself chances, and hopefully, you know, he's got another few hours of rest and try and get on top of whatever's troubling him illness-wise. And he's given himself a chance tomorrow. If he hadn't have had anything today, then you know, there would have been no chance tomorrow. But he's given himself a chance as well, because we know what type of player he is.
Yeah, by the end of tomorrow, we will know the full field for finals night. Neil Duff is already there. Derek Coulson as good as Turner, Whitehead, Worley and Edwards will battle it out for places 2nd and 3rd. But in Group C, I mean, those top 3, all on 8 points, Charlie Manby, Anthony Allen and Aaron Turner. Is it going to be 2 of those 3, or can somebody else join the party?
I think maybe Lloyd could join the party, and if not join the party, he could have a big influence on where the party is and who goes. So he'll be looking to do that tomorrow. Charlie Manby will be looking to sort of steady the ship. I think he was probably the one player that looked the most likely today. He looked positive, but did get got in the middle of the day, didn't he, by Aaron Turner, who was absolutely rock on it then. So yeah, it's going to be a tough one, but what I can see is we're going to have a really good 6 through to finals night, and Saturday night is going to be fun for sure.
I just want to end where we started, really, and speak about Derek Coulson one more time. Just try and, in a few words, sum up his performances this evening.
The thing for me is the fact that he's come with new darts. He's had the confidence to come with new darts. He used to use an old bulbous dart. He's come with the new darts. And there's always apprehension when you swap darts and you try something new, particularly under the pressure of the lights, particularly under the pressure of the situation of the group he's in, and everybody in the world sees it because of the cameras. So, yeah, tonight was a really, really special night for Derek, and I think he may have gone up another notch on that little ladder that he's climbing.
Yeah, he could indeed be the seniors Luke Littler, and after the show this evening you can see the best of Luke the Nuke at the Modus Super Series. Some brilliant highlights here from Littler at this event, and yeah, the most iconic Super Series moments come up after that, and then we're back with live action tomorrow at 1 p.m. We also have, of course, the conclusion of this group at 10 p.m, and it is the calm, cool Coulson who leads the way. Bye for now.
What a finish! What a man!
The drum roll finishes, and the target is
And it comes on finals night, and it's another
Dirty Harrison! Van Velzen!
54. Charlie McGuire, 164. $44. $32. Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls at this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
required
side
60.
to become